always bothered me. Always bothered me. Now, the first sentence isn't really a big problem, although the second part of that sentence does seem pretty unnecessary. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious that anyone who supposes that his toeses are roses is erroneous in his thinking. You don't have to tell us that. We know what toeses are and what roses are, and frankly, they're kind of hard to mistake for each other. In fact, I'd say the description of anyone who does confuse the two as erroneous is really rather charitable. Pea-brained, moronic, batshit crazy, these are among the gentler terms I'd use. Still, I can handle something that's just unnecessary. After all, this is Singing in the Rain, the movie that sees fit to include that entire Broadway melody sequence. So obviously, necessity or even relevance are not requirements for inclusion here. Besides, the film was put out by MGM, the studio whose entire output was largely unnecessary anyway. Sorry, folks, the truth is no less true for being brutal. No, what really riles me is that next sentence. Moses, he knows his toeses aren't roses, as Moses supposes his toeses to be. Okay, that's just plain stupid. He knows they aren't roses, yet he supposes they are anyway? This is at best denial, and more likely a matter of pure insanity. Now, I know what you're going to say, that supposes here doesn't mean perceives or believes, but merely bespeaks some hypothetical contemplation. Scott, you're going to say, Moses doesn't actually believe his toeses are roses. He's just pondering the idea, what if my toes were roses? What would that be like? I don't buy it. I'm by no means a biblical scholar, but even I realize that Moses had far too much on his plate, listening to burning bushes, fetching stone tablets, leading his people out of Egypt, parting the Red Sea, to spend any time wondering how things would be if he had flowers at the end of his feet. This was a man of action, not of useless contemplation. It just wasn't in his character. Actually, I'm convinced that this is all part of some malicious anti-Moses smear campaign. Politics are a bitch, but I had really hoped that Donald O'Connor and Gene Kelly were above such things. This kind of overwrought propaganda makes me sick.